Viewer Jim sent me this piece of spalted maple. And when I say spalted, I mean it's spalted all the way through. It's just beautiful. And it's a crotch piece, and I thought, well, that's going to be way cool. Why don't I saw it in half and get 2 pieces out of it? So I did, a 1 and a 2. But then you see the problem. And this happens, I don't know about frequently, but it happens with crotch pieces. You got to watch those bark inclusions. Goes all the way through there. And what does that mean? I don't know if I can show it to you this way. Watch that centerpiece. See that separate? Well, that's a little scary, isn't it? And so it's separated pretty much all the way. That's about the only place it's connected is right here. And I don't know how far in it goes, but not too far because that split is right there. So instead of 2 pieces, I think I'm going to get 4 out of it. I can turn, yeah, I think I'll get 4. I can turn 1 here and 2 out of the other one. Book mats, what do you think? Cool. But that kind of disappointed me. Not Jim's fault. You know, you don't know until you cut into something like that. It looked nice and solid, but look at all that spalting. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Just love it. But it kind of put me off, so I'm going to go a different direction. I will get back to those 2 pieces, 4 pieces, so bear with me, but just not today. Viewer Judith also sent some wood, and along with what she sent was this black oak. In looking it over, no, this one's turnable as is. There's a hole in it, and that hole goes all the way through. So on this side, which is the bottom, because I want that bark to show on the top, so it'll be like this. This will be the top of the bowl. Bark on the side. That'll be the bottom. So on the bottom, I filled it with CA and I think it's walnut. Some walnut chips that I had, walnut dust. Of course, I didn't have any of this particular wood because I haven't turned it yet. So that's what I used, but I think it'll color in nicely with match the rest of the grain pretty well in color anyway. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or as we like to say here at Shady Acres Wood Shop, howdy. Today we have black oak from Judith. Thank you so much, Judith, for sending this in. Look at that wonderful bark. Somebody will say, well, why didn't you cut the corners off? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that before you started it up? Because I don't know how it's going to be. I have no idea. I don't know if we're going to keep 4 corners or if we're going to lose 4 corners or if we're going to turn the 2 ends round and leave this flat back here and bark on that. I don't know. Beats me. Let's find out. I mounted the faceplate ring, and this has an internal dovetail right here, and that'll mesh with my dovetail jaws on my chuck. So I'll just place that over that and expand into it, just like the recess on the bottom of a bowl. And that'll give us a nice firm grip. I'm going to start by flattening off the bottom. We're going to use a 5/8 inch bowl gouge. I'm going to wear a glove for a little bit because this is going to be sharp, I think, coming off of there. Mask and face shield on, 700 RPM. I don't know if my patch here is going to work for a tenon or if I should go with a recess. Either way, it's not going to be as strong as the wood. Boy, there is some nice colors in there, huh? Pink and gray and white and black. We'll mark out for a tenon or a recess. Tenon or recess? I think recess. Yeah, I think in this case a recess is going to be stronger. So let's make that recess. I need it to be about a 1/4 inch bigger than it is. I'm going to use a 3/8 inch bowl gouge. Now I'm going to use my dovetail tool to create the dovetail on the side of that recess. going to have a hole in the bottom of our recess. We can see that. Probably in the bottom of the bowl, because that's where my patch was, and that hole went all the way through. But we've got a nice dovetail. So what are we going to do with the shape here? I don't know, but I'll start working on this corner over here. And I can't push into this hole and just make it worse, so I'm going to use this block of wood that I've used many times to apply some pressure to the center there for support until we get this piece rounded up or whatever it is we're going to do with it. See if that's how that'll work. That's just providing support for now. I just don't know what to do here, but what I am going to do is start from outside and come in so that I don't lift this bark edge up. Just starting to touch it right there. No, I can see. I wouldn't mind taking off a little more. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish here. So just play along. We'll figure it out. I know you can't see all the angles that I can see, but it's looking pretty good. In fact, I think we're just about done with it. I'm going to have to remake this recess. This bottom isn't flat. If I was to set it on this right now, it would sit right here because it's higher right here than it is out this way. So I need to flatten this off, which will thin this down, so I'm going to have to remake the recess a little bit. Much better. Time for sanding. I'm going to start with my Sandoflex. I'm going to sand all of this bark up here so that I don't have to sand it from the top. I can reach all of it from here. And that's 180 grit, and that's as fine as I'll go on the Sandoflex. Then starting with 80 grit on my 2-inch disc, I will sand all of the turned parts, and I'll sand up to 400 grit. And I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I get my mask on. And I don't know what you're thinking now. What's up with this fill guy and all this rotten wood and stuff? It's going to look so cool with finish on it. I'm telling you, it's going to look great. I love it already. Yep, gonna look fantastic. All those colors in there. Oh, it's wonderful. With the lathe spinning in reverse at about 400 RPM. And that's surprisingly easy. I'll bring you back in a bit and we'll put some probably sanding sealer. Yeah, sanding sealer. See you in a bit. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be something. I'm gonna have to brush most of this. but I just want to get a base coat on the turned parts. Isn't that interesting? That's interesting. I'm probably going to have to brush all of it almost. There's so many tiny little cracks and voids and whatnot. I'm counting on this stuff to kind of act like glue in this area right here where it's so deteriorated. So I'll put on probably at least 2 coats of this sanding sealer. And then I'll put on 2 coats of shellac exactly like I'm applying it now, brush and a rag. So I won't show that part. It'll look just the same. I'll bring you back when it's time to start working on the inside. See you in a bit. You can see I've drawn a circle on here. I just held my pencil up. This is about as far out as I want to go. I don't want to get into the bark very much, if at all. So I just held my pencil here and drew a circle. I can enlarge that a little bit by beveling how the bowl goes in. I don't want to make it too big, and I realize that's quite a small bowl for such a long piece. But that's okay. I was so impressed by the grain in this piece on the bottom. It's just beautiful. All finished up, that the more of it we can see, the better as far as I'm concerned. So I'll flatten off this top, of course, sand it, polish it, it'll be nice. But it's going to have a smallish bowl in it. We're going to be turning at 740 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. I'm trying to decide if we want to put a bead around the edge of this bowl or just let it melt together. I like a bead quite a bit, but this piece might be a little bit different. I'm just not sure yet. I can put it on there and we can see what it looks like. It's a pretty bumpy ride, as you can see. Actually, those those grooves look kind of cool, don't they? Bead or no bead, bead or no bead, I don't know. But what I do know is I'm going to go sharpen up. Okay, bead or no bead? I can't hear you. Bead. Okay. All right. Bead it is. We might be about there. I told you it was going to be shallow. Don't be surprised now. Well, about a 1/2 inch thick bottom. Not that that matters a lot. It looks like I'm not going to get through the rot without going through the bottom, even at a 1/2 inch, because some of these holes go way back in there. And I know some of you folks want me to fill those holes, and I could. But I kind of like them because they're just part of it, you know. It's an art piece, not a salad bowl. Well, yeah, I'm arguing with myself about it too. I just don't know. I know I'd like to try and clean this up out here a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can get some more speed. Not much, about 800. Oh, that's better. Well, I'm going to scrape inside here, meaning I think we're done, but I'm not sure. And I don't know if scraping's a good idea, but we'll find out. It was a good idea. I haven't quite got this one little spot right here, I guess. I'm going to try and scrape this lip here, this bead. Okay, that got it. I kind of think we're done, boys and girls. I don't know. Let me cogitate. No, I like it. We're keeping it. I like it mostly because of that trail all the way through there. And I don't think it's a bug trail. I think it's just decay. And I think it comes from over here and comes out here. It just sort of all blends together. I like it. We're going with that. Art piece, remember? Art piece. Time for sanding. I'm going to try and head off a few comments. Not that it's going to do any good. Yes, I'm well aware how nice this would look with a colored epoxy in here. I'm well aware of that. I totally understand it would look gorgeous. In my opinion, it would look terrific with copper dust filled in there. Oh, or gold dust? Yeah, that's the ticket, gold dust. I'm not going to do that. I just like it. I can't help it. It's just the way it is. To me, it looks terrific, and it's going to look even more terrific once we get a finish on there. I just don't do epoxy. I like to watch people use epoxy. Andy Phillip is my favorite. The man is a genius with it. The colors he uses, oh, gorgeous. It's just not me. It's just not what I do. Take that for whatever it's worth. If you hate this thing, I'm sorry that you hate it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to start sanding with my Sandoflex 180 grit. I'm going to sand all of the inside of the bowl here with 180, and then I'm going to start over with my 2-inch disc sander at 80 grit and work up through 400. And I'll do the inside and I'll do the wings here with that. But these edges are quite sharp, and this is the only tool that's going to take care of that. So I'll show you how that's going to work as soon as I get my mask on. Now what that's doing is it's getting this edge right here as it comes around, but it's not getting that edge. So I'll reverse the lathe and sand on this side. Oh yeah, see what a difference. Oh man, I couldn't stick my finger in there before it was so sharp, and now it's not. Wonderful, wonderful, terrific. Okay, then with the lathe spinning forward at about 380. and reverse. Well, that's easier than I thought it would be. Terrific. So I'll do that for a while. I'll bring you back. We'll put some sanding sealer on there. See you in a bit. Alrighty then, let's see what this looks like. It looks good. Oh yeah. God, that is just some beautiful grain in such a piece of wood that, you know, looks like firewood. But I like to say, if you have a lathe, there is no such thing as firewood. And maybe this proves it. Yeah. See, it just looks good, natural. Wow. It's incredibly perfect. And it isn't just the flow of this crack through here. It's the texture inside the crack, and that's what you lose if you fill it with something. But that's just my opinion, my taste. Yours may not be the same. I get it. Totally get that. There it is. Gorgeous. So I'll put on 2 coats of this sanding sealer, 2 coats of shellac, just as I did on the bottom side. And I'll bring you back here in a little bit and we'll take a look at it. I'm so sorry if you don't like this piece. I just love it. I just love it. It's just, to me, it's just beautiful. So much nature. This piece back here is not beautiful, but it's just interesting. I mean, it's entirely different than the rest of it. It's got some spalting in there, so that makes it kind of nice. It almost looks glued on, but it's not, because of this point right here. You can tell that it's not glued on there. But it's interesting the way it happened. I think the bottom there is just as pretty as the top. And the bark, oh my gosh. The bark is just beautiful. And like I said, it's an art piece, but you could use it. You could, you know, throw your keys in there or something if you must. A dime might get lost, but you could throw other change in there. A dime might go into this spot here. But the colors, the grain, it's extraordinary. I really hope you like it. If you don't like it, let me know. If you do like it, let me know. Thank you to Judith for sending this along for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please. I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, that is totally cool. Thank you so much for that. If you're not a subscriber, you might consider becoming one. I put out regular videos about 1 a week, and I'd like to keep in touch. An easy way to subscribe is just click my picture you see there near the end of the video. Your comments are always welcome, and I read all of them. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.